Welcome back again. Let's talk news now. We're getting started here at 6 a.m. in the morning. I have with me my good friend, Dirk Thomas. That's it. Take a slurp of coffee, dude, because I'm telling you, it's keeping the eyes open. 6 o'clock. And we're doing it live here, of course, at Petra in Tivoli Village. If you've never been here before, you've got to come, but specifically not just at Tivoli Village. Stopping here at Petra, the food is absolutely phenomenal. Well, you saw that earlier in the show. Chef Yoni is amazing. I know you've eaten here.
Many times. It's one of my favorite places to go along.
And maybe even had a cocktail here. Many times.
Maybe. I can neither confirm nor deny.
There you go. Dirk, I know when you were working with Metro, one of your assignments was to work out at the airport.
Correct.
Okay. And the airports and TSA have just become almost like a synonymous tsunami of information and things that are going on over there.
Usually not in a good way either.
Not really in a good way. I have to tell you, I sit on that side of the table that becomes a little frustrated with the whole TSA activity. I understand it, but I'm just simply going, really? What's the difference between 3 ounces of shampoo or 5 ounces of shampoo? You know, what's the difference between this little, my nail clippers? I get the difference between my nail clippers and a switchblade, but I don't understand, my nail clippers, really?
A lot of their policies are actually pretty silly, as everybody can tell.
Okay.
But do you understand the reason for the liquids?
No, I don't. I've never understood that. Why 3 ounces? Why not 5 ounces?
People get mad about it, but they never ask.
Okay, well, why is it?
Because there are certain types of chemicals that you can put into liquids that will actually make explosives.
Well, no, that I understood.
Okay, that's why. And they're trying to limit the amount of a possible explosive that maybe won't come up on the machines that someone can use on an airplane.
Well, I got the premise.
Okay.
I got the premise.
That's the reason for that.
So so what you're saying to me is that the container size, if there was allowed 3.5 ounce containers, that could be enough of 2 chemicals if you mix it together, shook it up. But 2.5 ounces of it wouldn't.
But here's the sad part. It doesn't make any difference because you could have 20 containers that have 3 ounces in it.
Right.
And the TSA would let you carry them on. So you could have the same chemical in all of them.
And then, this whole thing with, breast milk has become an issue. People being detained for different reasons.
It's not what it is, it's the fact that it is a liquid. You don't know what actually is in that liquid. So that, if you have one silly policy, even though you understand the premise, it just blows out, it's all blown out of proportion.
You can't say blown in an airport. Yeah. The moment
we're not in an airport.
We're not in an airport right now.
The problem with the TSA is like any other government agency, and that everybody doesn't want them around until they really need them around. Okay?
Makes sense.
And then you end up taking somebody, and usually in a government agency where you say, okay, you're in charge of this government agency, but usually that person has no clue what that government agency really does. It's a political appointee of some type, and and that's why you have all these policies that are different from one airport to another.
That's the other thing. I think it drives everybody crazy.
Right.
Some airports you have to show up an hour and a half early for. Some 1 hour early. Some you have to be ticketed by a certain point, even though you haven't gotten through security. Because if you come in too late.
Okay, but for example, with McCarran, they tell you that you have to be at, and this is not the whole airport. It's just certain sections of the airport. If you go out to the D gate, well, here's why.
Okay.
If you go out to the D gates, by the time you get your ticket,
right,
they've got to be able to get your luggage onto the airplane.
Okay.
Which means they've got to travel a further distance, which is why they tell you have to be there earlier. And if you're not there, you don't make that flight because they're not going to put your bag on there because they don't want your bag to go without you.
But that's always been the case. But I'm saying about the TSA rules and the security rules change from one airport to the next.
Because some airports are larger than others, some are smaller, and so they have. I can understand those types of rules. But there are some rules with the TSA as far as what you can carry on and whether they're more lenient or that are totally different from one airport to the next, and it drives people crazy. So yes, there should be some more standards for that. But like I said, nobody likes the TSA anyway.
Well, no, actually, here's the thing: is whenever and I say this with complete candor, when I fly, I will usually try and say thank you to the TSA folks. Now, I'm not real happy about the policy, but I understand they're just doing a job. It's not them personally.
No, most of them are
I'm dealing with a an individual who's got a job to do, and they're trying to do it to the best of their ability, and they're getting nothing but crap all day long. So somebody might as well say hello and hope you're having a good day.
One of the biggest
Thank
problems
you.
we have in this country is leadership issues. We have a lot of people that are supervisors that don't know how to supervise. So a lot of these TSA people are doing exactly what they were told to do, and they're afraid to deviate in any way, shape, or form and use any kind of common sense because they're afraid if they do, their boss is going to get mad at them, and they're going to get fired or they're going to get suspended or something. So that's why you have them making these decisions that aren't really decisions. They're going, well, okay, the rule says this, and that's why they end up frisking a 5-year-old kid or whatever. So that's just the way it is.
Amazingly enough. Well, nonetheless, it is in fact that time of the year here in Las Vegas. We're going to have a lot of tourists coming in throughout the summer. It's something we always look forward to. 4th of July will be coming up in about another 45 days or so. It's a great time here in Las Vegas, and it's a great opportunity. What's that?
Cinco de Mayo. A lot of people coming in.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And so it's just a great time. Well, we have a great time each and every morning here. So we want you to come join us from now on, 6 a.m. here on Vegas TV. Well, Let's Talk News Now. See you tomorrow.